Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum class. Alhamdulillah, we have reached on our last lecture of the first semester, lecture 13, relating to the course of operation research. And in the course, we have gone through all the contents according to the HEC. So, inshallah, tomorrow in the class, we will revise the important and little bit of theorems and the questions or the topics. Here in the video or today's in the video lecture, I just want to revise or go through the topics that we have gone through the whole semester. In this operation research course, we have studied the broad and in-depth knowledge of a range of operation research models and techniques, which can be applied to a variety of industrial applications. I have tried to provide multiple complete operation research knowledge to enhance more knowledge about the subject and to score better marks in the exams. You can easily make use of all these operation research knowledge in practical life. Operation research reference books and list is given that we have gone through is the Hamadi Taha book, Operation Introduction to Operation Research, then Mathematical Models in Operation Research by J.K. Sharma, and then Decision and Controls by Beer and Stedford. Quantitative approach to management, we have Livion's book, we have also gone through for some chapters, and Principles of Operation Research by Wagner. The topic we will cover in this operation research lecture notes PDF will be taken from the following list of the introduction to operation research. In the introduction, we have seen its the historical background of operation research, that how from the lab of research lab, they connected with the military uses as they develop a network, and for the finding the optimal solutions, they use the quantitative techniques to formulate the problems in their mathematical form and then finding their optimal basic solution. So in the introduction of operation research, we have gone through its history, its background, its scope, its phases of operation research, and which are to develop the first to understand the problem and then to define the variables. After defining the variables, formulate the problem into a mathematical form, then define the objective function, then define the subjective constraints, and then give the non-negativity of the constraints about. We have also gone through the research methodologies, operation research techniques and tools, and the structure of mathematical models and limitation of operation research. So the operation research, we can say, is an analytical method of problem solving and decision making that is useful in the management of organization. In operation research, problems are broken down into basic concepts and then solved in defined steps by mathematical analysis. We have studies in the technique of linear programming, that is a powerful quantitative technique designed to solve allocation problems. Then the decision variable we define refers to the economic or physical quantities which are competing with one another for sharing the given limited resources. And then the objective function of a linear programming problem is a linear function of the decision variable expressing the objective of the decision maker. Then the constraints indicates limits on the resources which are to be allocated among various decision makers. Non-negativity restrictions means that all decision variables must take on values equal to greater than 0, and variability means that the numerical values of the decision variables are continuous and not limited to integers. Linear programming topic under we have gone through the linear programming problems, requirements of linear programming, mathematical formulation of linear programming, case studies of linear programming and the graphical method to solve the linear programming problems, applications, its advantages and disadvantages. And we have seen if we have only two variables in the linear programming problem, then the graphical methods is the best to give us the basic feasible or optimal basic feasible solution. But if the variables are more than two variables, then we use the simplex method to find out the optimal solutions. And in the simplex method, we have seen a standard form, fundamental some theorems of linear programming problems and solution of linear programming problems with the help of simplex method, simplex algorithms, and plenty cost method and bigger method and two-phase methods for solve problems for minimization and also for the maximization. We have gone through the duality in linear programming, and the also we have gone through the importance of duality, because duality is important in linear programming because we find out the optimal solution for both the cases, if it is for the maximization and for the minimization. So interpretation of duality, sensitivity analysis, and then we go through the transportation problem. Transportation problem is mostly for the minimization of the cost or the minimization of the route. So it has three types of to find out the basic initial solution, least cost method, and the Vogel approximation, and also the least corner method. So there are also the Modi method and the uh, initial basic feasible solution, stepping stone method to find out the whether our initial basic feasible solutions are optimal or not. Then there is also assignment problem, and in assignment problem we have formulate the problem mathematically, and then we use the Hungarian methods, algorithm, or routing problem, and traveling salesman problem to find the basic feasible solutions. Integer programming process or procedures are the same. So instead of the just like the linear programming, instead of the numbers we have the integers now. So we have also seen its solutions finding methods, and the branch and bound technique is the important technique for that is used to find the optimal solution in case of integer programming. Then infinite queuing theory and mathematical analysis of queuing theory, finite queuing model, simulation, and the simulation Monte Carlo method, project scheduling, and PERT CPM, and also the dynamic network problems. And we have also gone through the advanced linear programming, in which all the system of linear programming is converted into the matrix form, and then we find out their solution. So if we go in through the important SPP problem, shortest path problem. So imagine a salesman or milk vendor or a postman who has to cover certain previously marked place to perform his daily routines. It is assumed that all the places to be visited by him are connected well for a suitable mode of transport. He has to cover all the locations while doing so. If he visits the same place again and again on the same day, it will be a loss of several resources such as time, money. Therefore, he shall place a constraint upon himself not to visit the same place again and again on the same day. He shall be in a position to determine a route which would enable him to cover all the locations, fulfilling the constraint. The shortest route method aims to find how a person can travel from one location to another, keeping the total distance traveled to be minimum. In other words, it seeks to identify the shortest route to a series of distinctions. Then Modi method is the modified distribution method, also known as Modi method or UV method, which provides a minimum cost solution, optimal solution to the transportation problem. The following are the steps involved in the method. So we have gone through this method also, and then the rest of the methods relating to the integer programming and finding the basic purpose in the operation research course was to find out the optimal solution by simple iteration by stepwise with the using of optimal solution, whether our objective was to maximize or to minimize. Maximization comes in the case of profit, and in the minimization comes, for example, in the case of minimize cost, minimize time, minimize travel. So all these things we have covered in our course, and I am sure and inshallah you are now able to use the operation research theory in your practical life and in research work also. It was all relating to the overview of the operation research course. And tomorrow in the class, we will try to go through the some important topics and the tough, difficult topics and irritating topics in the operation research according to the examination point of view. Till then, Khuda Hafiz, and see you in the class.